Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 50 Shades of Tay. I'm Taylor Gonzalez, and you know my guests today from Doom, Barbarian, Game of Thrones, the list goes on and on. I am so excited to welcome Richard Brake. Richard, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing, Taylor?
Oh, good. Thank you so much for being here. You know what's funny? I've been interviewing a lot of your Pinocchio Unstrung cast members, and each person that I talk to references a different project of yours. They're like, oh, yeah, Richard Brake from Game of Thrones, or oh, yes, Richard Brake from The Stranger. So it's so cool to have such an incredible career. And now people are going to know you as Geppetto from Pinocchio Unstrung.
A twisted Geppetto. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I actually had the opportunity to check out Pinocchio Unstrung over the weekend, and I loved your performance as Geppetto. How would you say your take on Geppetto is different from the ones that people might have grown up with?
Well, definitely different than the Disney one, that's for sure. A little different than the source material. I read the original book that it came from when I was getting ready for this. And, I do think what's great, and you get in the Disney one too, is the soul and heart of Geppetto, which I think, we tried to keep, which is one of the things when I read the script, it has a lot of soul, a lot of heart to it. It surprised me. That's why, one of the big reasons I signed on. And so, trying to keep that, but then it twists. And the twist is my unique take on it, or at least the writers, but then me getting to do what I do. So I love, there's sort of two sides to Geppetto we see. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
It looks like a lot of fun, and the movie itself is so fun. And yeah, I just loved your take on it. Were you already familiar with the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey films before you signed on for Pinocchio Unstrung?
Yes, it was. Oh, I hadn't seen them, so all I'd heard is the rumors, right? And my agent sent me the script, and he said, "Yeah, it's a psychotic Pinocchio film." I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's the Blood and Honey guys." I was like, "Oh." So I thought I was actually thinking because I remember the reviews weren't very good, and I hadn't given it. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Sorry. The
It's okay.
electric getting fixed here for some
Oh,
last minute.
it's Pinocchio. Pinocchio has struck again.
Sorry, audience. So I was like, oh man, not that crazy, not those crazy guys. And then I read the script, and like I said, it just blew me away. So right away, I was wanted to get involved, and I watched Blood and Honey 2, which I really enjoyed. And I thought they did a great job with what they had. And then when I met them, that was the good thing, because I'd already said I was going to do it. But when I started working with Reese and Scott, and they told me that, I mean, they made movies to learn how to make movies, but luckily they were getting distributed. But they were making them for like $800 or whatever. They were making a film. It would get distributed, get their money back, they make another one. They were learning how to make films really as they made these. And they thought, let's make Blood and Honey, let's make a movie about Winnie the Pooh. And they bought their masks on Amazon. They weren't even Winnie the Pooh masks. And they just did it for no money. And of course, it blew up before it ever got released. Well, they were the last people that wanted people to see it. They thought, no, hardly any watching these films we're making. We're learning. So I think they were a little shocked when it all of a sudden Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was going to, the first one, yeah, was going to be seen by everybody. Um, and fortunately, it made loads of money and they took it and they made him, they put it right back into their filmmaking, which is incredible. And so I have so much respect for the two of them for how they are just driven and all they want to do is make movies, good movies, and learn to get better and better and better. So I'm absolutely uh, happy and grateful that I had said yes to it. And got a chance to work with them because they're very talented men, both of them.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, it's been a fun journey. I've been there since day one, since the first Blood and Honey hit theaters. And to get to see both Reese and Scott, like how they have improved from Blood and Honey to Blood and Honey 2. They did
Yeah.
Bambi, Peter Pan, and then now Pinocchio. What was it like getting to collaborate with Reese and Scott on this unique take for Geppetto?
Yeah, it's fun because again, like I said, right away I just took to both of them and sitting down with Reese and really working through the character and doing things like trying to figure out we needed to because there's a big shift in between Geppetto at the beginning and Geppetto at the end, but you have to like plant little seeds and deciding, how much the audience is going to get a little, and all that working out how, well, who Geppetto is going to be. It was great working with Reese on that in particular. But both guys with the filmmaking itself and just, being a part of that and all the different things that they're doing as they're making it. And it's an indie film. Indie films are hard to make, they never have enough money and never have enough time. And everybody has to sort of pitch in and do what they can do to make it a better film. And those guys, they're fantastic. Really, it was a lot of fun. It was just fun. I mean, I had a great. Somebody asked me what was the worst part of it, and there just wasn't. It was just brilliant, brilliant fun.
Oh, that is great to hear. We have to talk about Cameron Bell. He is James in this film. He gives such a great performance. I think he's going to be a star. What was it like getting to share scenes with Cameron?
Yeah, he's such a nice guy, and he came so prepared. He was really determined to do a good job from the moment he stepped on set. And no, just a lovely person, really prepared, really open to learning and getting better. And again, that's, such a great quality to have your whole career as an actor. If you got notes from Maurice, he was really responsive to them. Very easy to work with as an actor. Obviously I have a fair bit more experience than him, and just being able to, work with him like I would, someone who's, you know, 10 times older, or not 10, but 3 times older than him, with loads of experience. I mean, he was brilliant. It was really great. And it was lovely to see his finished performance. But I think the same for Jack and I mean Jessica, more experienced actor as well. But in three of them, I think the young guys were all of them brilliant. And the relationships that they created was, that was high level for two of them. I think it was their first film, Jack and Cam.
Yeah, incredible performances. What was
Mm.
your reaction when you first found out we were going to be using a practical Pinocchio puppet and animatronic in this film?
Yeah. And they told me that early on. I mean, that was one of the things that Reese was always going to make this film with practical, because he loves practicals. And it's sort of an homage to 80s movies and those kind of practical movies with puppets back in the old days, or in 90s, Child's Play, or uh and so I was up for it. I was looking forward to it, but I was particularly blown. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. I mean, it got Todd Masters. I didn't know that, I think, at the time. And when I actually saw the puppet for the first time, I was like, wow. I remember they sent me a reel of it, in a test reel, and I showed it to a couple of close horror fan friends and big horror people, and they just blown away. I thought, good. That's a good sign.
Very awesome. I love the way it turned out, and I got to see it at Monsterpalooza in Pasadena,
Oh,
and it
cool.
was just like incredibly detailed. The carvings, just I got to hold it. That thing was crazy, and
Yeah, right.
we
It
were
was
at
like
a
real, right? It was
yeah, we were at a pub.
amazing.
I kept looking at it, and I kept forgetting like it wasn't, like a real living boy. Don't tell him that, but it wasn't a real living boy, and it was just crazy to see.
I know. It's amazing. It was amazing. It was really, a lot of people asked me, how was it to work with it? Like, as though it would be difficult, but it was actually because Todd Masters is so good at what he does. It wasn't difficult. It really wasn't difficult to act over it, next to it.
Well, before we go, I did want to ask, since talking with all of your co-stars and everyone having like a favorite film or project of yours, one of my favorites of yours is The Last Stop in Yuma County. I wanted to ask you, which film or series that you've done is something that you're like most proud of, or you would like people to go check out after they watch Pinocchio Unstrung?
I mean, choosing that is like choosing my favorite child. It's really hard. I have so many things I love.
I know.
I mean, I'm glad you mentioned Last Stop, because I think there are films like that, which is a brilliant film. Francis is an incredible director, and he's gone on now. He's going to do the new Evil Dead that he's finishing up on. And, again, that's why I do indies, to get to work with people like him or Scott and Reese, is to, people that really care about making good films, but don't have the huge audiences and budgets of other people. Um, so that one is for sure. Definitely that I'm really proud of. But lots of films. I did a film called Perfect Skin many, 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 many years ago, a British indie film that is a lovely little horror, indie horror. So you can find it. You just got to dig a bit deeper. And of
Yeah,
course,
I'll keep
loads
an
of
eye
them.
out for that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Richard, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day to be here and join me to talk all things Pinocchio Unstrung. Everybody, be sure to check it out in theaters July 24th. And Richard, it was so nice to meet you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Taylor. Nice to meet you too.
Thank you. Bye.